Welcome to Spirits and Screams.
Hey guys, welcome to Spirits and Screams. I'm your host Karen, and tonight we're going to take a deep dive into the idea of alien abduction, but being explained by the theory of demonic possession. I know, this is a huge topic, but we're going to dive into it. The movie I want to take a deeper look at is the mockumentary from 2009 called The Fourth Kind. I'm really excited to delve into this one. Now let's get started on our journey into the dark side of the paranormal. The Fourth Kind from 2009 is a sci-fi horror pseudo-documentary set in Nome, Alaska, investigating a series of mysterious disappearances. Psychologist Dr. Abigail Tyler, played by Milla Jovovich, uses hypnosis on patients who report seeing a white owl at 3 a.m., uncovering disturbing evidence of alien abductions. The film blends dramatized scenes with purported archival footage to create an unsettling atmosphere. Introduction. Real-life alien abduction stories that are sometimes made into films like this one, I think this is a good example, often resemble historic details about demonic possession. I recently watched a really cool interview that touched on this idea, and it immediately made me think of this film. And I wanted to talk about it because I really enjoyed this film so much. There's so many layers to it. It's kind of funny. The first few times I watched it, I focused directly on the alien aspect of it, alien abduction stuff. And it never dawned on me anything about the demonic. It should have because of some of the scenes that happened, but it just never did. It wasn't until I saw this interview that I started delving into it. And I think it's so fascinating. It's a really interesting idea. Skeptics would argue that everything's just a hallucination or some kind of false memory, and that's completely valid. The demonic perspective suggests that there's a technology-based version of ancient spiritual warfare. I just think that's cool. I think that makes for a really good film. And now that I know this side of it as an idea, it makes this movie even better than I thought it was before. The Fourth Kind film is a pseudo-documentary style film set in Nome, Alaska that dramatizes alleged alien abductions. They used hypnotic regression to bring out these repressed memories of alleged alien abductions. So creepy. It's such a cool movie. It's such a cool way that they put it together. I really, really enjoyed it. The plot and presentation. So this film uses a cool split screen visual that shows the dramatization of the story alongside the archival footage, and we're made to believe that it really happened. Love those kinds of shows. I honestly did think it was real back in the day when I watched this the first time. It wasn't until a few years later that I saw something about it and I started digging into it, and I realized that the real Dr. Abigail Tyler was an actress. She wasn't real. What was her name? Her name, Charlotte Milchard. And Milla Jovovich, of course, plays the dramatization, Dr. Abigail. So, yeah, I thought it was real. I really did. And it freaked me the heck out. I still don't feel the same way about owls. I don't know if you guys have watched this before and seen that, but yeah, owls kind of freak me out a little bit. Love them. They're amazing, beautiful creatures. Don't hurt owls. But yeah, this movie kind of made me think twice about that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a real owl in the wild, but they're pretty amazing. Really amazing. The eyes and the way that they can kind of spot things in their heads and how they spin kind of thing. Really, really cool. But yeah, this movie scared the heck out of me the first time I watched it. So the film's set in Nome, Alaska, and in real life, there have been lots of disappearances there since the 1960s. I'll talk about that later because there's different reasons for that, but I guess this is one of those theories that it could possibly be, because there's been a lot of, I guess, FBI investigations there as well. But anyways, I'll get to that later. The mystery in this film. The patients that are having things happen to them are hypnotized, and they bring out this story about this white owl that basically suppresses the bad stuff that's happening to them in the middle of the night, usually around 3:30 a.m. The twist in this film is that the alien beings are speaking this ancient Sumerian language and claiming to be God. So they seem malevolent. That's very, very scary. But even the first time I watched this film, I still thought of them as alien beings, just something that was much more intelligent and greater than we are. I thought that's what they were trying to portray. And I guess that's what's cool about the film. It's kind of got a lot of different elements to it, so you could interpret it the way that you want to. But now that I know this line of thinking, I really am interested in this film. Now let's talk about the core concept of this film, the 4 kinds. I didn't know anything about this before. I had to research it to learn it, but it's pretty cool. The title refers to the J. Allen Hynek classification of UFO encounters, and these are what they are. The first kind is visual sighting. The second kind, physical evidence. Example of that is crop circles or something like that. The third kind is direct contact, and the fourth kind is abduction. This made me think of the 4 stages of possession being infestation, oppression, obsession, and possession. I just think that's so interesting. If you take those 2 groups and you combine them together, and just run with the theory of maybe, aliens are not creatures from other planets coming to invade us. Maybe it's something dark and sinister that's trying to sway us from, God or whatever you believe. And I'm not here to tell you how to believe. I know there's lots of people that believe in aliens. I still do, I still think it could be a thing. I loved watching the X-Files with my dad. We used to have a big telescope and go look up in the backyard back in the 70s, 80s, and look for alien spaceships and stuff like that. And I think that's so cool. Yeah, what do you guys think? I really want to chat about this one because I think it's open for a lot of debate. It's very interesting. In any case, to me, this is a really novel way of portraying demonic possession in film. I think it's very different. And if you let your mind go there, it can be very scary. Fact versus fiction. So despite its very realistic looking presentation, this film was completely fabricated. None of the names are true. None of it. I mean, they're using a real place, Nome, Alaska, but Dr. Abigail Tyler does not exist. It's a fictitious character that they wrote into the story. But man, it was just so well done that way. The way they flip from the dramatization to the archival footage is just so creepy. They did such a good job. I really love that. Very scary. The film itself is very tense. There's a huge buildup of tension to the ending. The ending's not happy by any means. It's very heart-wrenching and sad for all of the characters involved. You get kind of really connected to all the different characters as well. So that's really cool. There was a lawsuit because they made fake news websites and obituaries and stuff like that, but they ended up having a payoff kind of thing. But they did such a good job. Like it really faked out a lot of people, so it was worth it, I guess. Okay, so here's the part about the actual stuff that happens in Nome. A lot of people have gone missing. There have been FBI investigations, all that kind of thing, but nothing's been extraterrestrial. Everything's been connected to just the harsh climate and condition. There's a lot of nature around there. So, things like that happen. It's very sad, but nothing extraterrestrial. This film is also a very unsettling found footage film. It's got that low quality video to it with the archive stuff mixed together, and they put in the levitation and the voices. It just makes it so creepy. So if you're into found footage, to me this one's even more than found footage. It's got a lot more to it, but if you're into that kind of film, you probably need to check this one out if you haven't already. So the fourth kind is a cult classic, and it mixes sci-fi and horror, my two favorite genres in the whole world. And they do it so well. And while it claims to document actual alien abductions in Nome, Alaska, it's completely a work of fiction, and I think they did that very, very well. So for my review, I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5. A Spirits and Screams cult classic. I freaking love this film because I do. What did you guys think? Long comments down below. Let's chat. Alien stuff is such a hot topic right now, right? Oh my goodness. I guess it always is. Always has been. It's always been one of my favorite things. Okay, now let's get into the demonic connection. All right. Some researchers and theologians argue that alien abductions are driven by something spiritual rather than physical. And here are some of the reasons why. Trickery and deception. So while there are claims of these scientific advanced species or beings, many abductees talk about things in terms of a malevolent force that mimics, these alien beings and could be something much darker, the demonic. Similarities to historical occultism. Yikes, that's a scary thought. UFO behavior is sometimes described as magic rather than physics, closely paralleling historical demonic possession or hauntings. Paralysis and terror. Many of these encounters involve a sleep paralysis in the middle of the night kind of thing. Demonic activity, people that experience that talk about the same sort of thing. Sleep paralysis, not remembering things in the end. There's a lot of similarities to the two. I find that very fascinating and so terrifying. When I think of the shots that they use of the white owl in the film, that part scared the heck out of me. This whole thing, maybe subconsciously I kind of was thinking about the whole demonic side of things because it really scared me, this movie, when I watched it the first time. But I did think of it only as aliens. But that owl thing, if you think about that in the middle of the night at like 3:30 in the morning, you ever wake up at 3:33 in the morning? That freaks me out. And you don't really know why, and you have to go to into the darkness to the bathroom or whatever. Really scares me. But that owl is so creepy. So that whole concept, I'm like, you could look at it that way as well if you believe in that sort of thing. I'm not saying any of this is real. You're certainly entitled to believe whatever you want, but I just think it's intriguing. I think both sides of it, the side that it could be an alien being from another planet kind of visiting us, is a very cool concept. Or the demonic being around. Not that I think that's cool, but I mean, there's been a lot of documented stuff about that too that's unexplained. So I find this stuff so fascinating. I really do. The master entity. So some of these cases talk about experiencing, encountering, communicating with a master entity. So you could take that both ways, right? It could be some alien supreme being that's more advanced than we are communicating. But you could also take that as something demonic kind of tricking us and thinking it's superior to us. I guess the demonic is superior to us, but that's kind of coming through that way. Man, that's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I mean, you could argue that it's baloney and it's not true, just like all this other stuff I talk about. But if you think about it, it makes for a really scary movie. It really does. Okay, now because of the location of the film, we're going to talk about the Alaska Triangle. And I didn't know anything about this before, so this part's interesting. The Alaska Triangle, a loosely defined region that connects the cities of Anchorage and Juneau on the northern coast. It has gained a reputation as the Bermuda Triangle of the North due to a staggeringly high rate of disappearances. The numbers and scale. So this information, it's loosely based. I'm giving you a ballpark so you get a picture of how things are, that's all. Since 1988, an estimated 16 to 20,000 people, including hikers, tourists, and passengers in small planes, have vanished within this area. The triangle covers nearly 200,000 to 400,000 square miles. Wow. Of some of the most rugged, uninhabitable, terrain in North America, including dense boreal forests, jagged peaks, and massive glaciers. So that in itself, if you get a visual of that, you can see how so many disappearances and things have happened in that area. But it kind of makes you think, right? Like it makes you think of what the heck is going on there, and what if there are alien abductions or, weird stuff going on there. It really does make you think. Regardless, I still want to visit there sometime because I just love the idea of nature and just all that kind of stuff. It just fascinates me. So, I'm not saying anything bad about the area at all. Scientific and practical explanations. So Alaska's big, there's a lot of land out there and it's pretty rugged and crazy. So that's probably a large part of the reasons behind these myths, these stories, these events, occurrences that no one can explain. So here's some of the things that they have in Alaska. Glacial crevices. Alaska's glaciers are riddled with deep snow-covered holes. If a plane crashes or a hiker falls into one, they can be buried instantly by shifting ice and fresh snow, making them nearly impossible to find. There's also magnetic anomalies. The region experiences high magnetic declination, which can throw compass readings off by as much as 30 degrees. This can cause pilots and hikers to become disoriented and steer far off their intended course. So that makes sense. There's also wildlife and weather. The area is home to a high population of grizzly bears, well, there you go there, and wolves, and temperatures can plummet to minus 40 degrees Celsius in winter. So yeah, pretty harsh conditions. I could see stuff like that happening, especially if people are not prepared for that kind of thing. And man, I still want to visit there. I still really want to go there one day. I really do. Now on the flip side, let's get into the folklore and supernatural theories that have been devised there because of all of these disappearances that happen, which is in record numbers. A lot of this stuff is indigenous based. So let's get into that part. The Kushtaka. Tlingit and Tsimshian folklore speaks of the Kushtaka, or land otter man, a malevolent shapeshifter said to mimic the voices of loved ones to lure travelers into the wilderness to their death. Now, I hope I'm not mangling those names, but wow, that's a cool story. So creepy. That would have given me nightmares as a child if I heard that kind of a story. Really, really creepy. I'd love to do maybe another video, if there's any movies out there connected to it, of shapeshifters and that kind of thing. I think that would be really interesting. Second is energy vortexes. Some theorists claim the region contains vile vortexes or electromagnetic fields. The third and final one I'll talk about is the Dark Pyramid. A popular conspiracy theory suggests a massive subterranean dark pyramid, larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza, exists near Mount Denal and generates enough energy to disrupt navigation across the state. Well, how interesting is that, too? Fascinating. I'd really love to explore some of these theories. If you guys want me to do that, let me know in the comments below, because I think that stuff is really, really interesting. There's lots of documentaries and podcasts and stuff out there that discuss connecting aliens with the demonic. You guys can go check them all out. I've watched some of it. It's pretty interesting. If you guys have any stuff that you think that I would be interested in listening to or hearing about, let me know in the comments down below, because I love watching this kind of stuff. In conclusion, so yeah, I really am intrigued by all of this stuff. I'm a huge X-Files fan, like I told you. Me and my dad, really fond memories of that. I'm always interested in watching more things, but I want to know what you guys think about all this crazy stuff. I mean, do you believe in aliens? Do you believe in the demonic? Do you think somehow the two could be combined? Let me know. Let's chat, you guys. Long comments down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I sure did. And if you like the video, don't forget to give me a like, because it helps me out a lot, and subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this. I've got lots more movies to talk about. I really do. Every Monday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time on Spirits and Screams. Don't miss an episode. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I really love chatting with you, and I hope you're enjoying this new series. And I will see you again really soon on the next one. I love you all. And remember, when you're watching horror movies, don't forget to scream responsibly. Have a good night, you guys.